Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Kelsey here for another episode of High Levels Affiliate Insider, where we show you how to unlock your untapped affiliate potential. Today, I've got with me Nick Ponte and Tom Gaddis. They've both run successful companies on High Level prior to doing affiliate stuff, but I'm super excited because this past year, you guys have really locked in and started to do affiliate things, and you just made it to the #1 affiliate on the affiliate leaderboard. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So how this is my first time interviewing two people at once. How do you guys do it together? How do you like what's the split? How does this work?
It's a really good question. It changes a lot. We've never really had specific set roles. And I think a lot of people probably operate this way, especially in that startup environment. Um, we kind of started separately as agency owners. And Tom had an agency, I had an agency. We were both out in Maui. And we met through a mutual friend, had coffee one day, and decided to keep kind of masterminding at that time and like talking about getting clients and you know overcoming the obstacles that we were facing. And yeah, that just really kind of planted the seed of like working together, getting clients, and splitting the workload, I guess you could say. And man, how long ago was that, Tom? That was like 10 years.
And that was like 2015.
Yeah. So 2015. And then we were consuming a lot of content online, trying to figure out better ways to get clients and do fulfillment and make money and things like that. And one of the things that we encountered were a bunch of, products and people that were telling you to do things that didn't actually work. And we kind of decided like, hey, we have some things that have actually been working. We should talk about those. And that was really where we kind of dipped our toe into the, I don't know, internet marketing education space. And yeah, it's really been kind of a startup environment the entire time because we've grown really quickly in a lot of different ways. We started out with affiliate marketing actually and doing product launches. So we had a really good way to get clients. And we started out with our first course. It was like an audit. We were teaching people how to do an audit. And then we did like an affiliate product launch. So we found some people to promote that course. And that really kind of gave us the platform to start an audience, start a community. And yeah, I mean, it's at times it's been, Tom has been the main presenter, educator guy, and I've been behind the scenes doing operations, fulfillment. We've obviously grown our team in many different ways, but it keeps changing all the time. So yeah, I wish I had a really good format that everybody should stick with. But I think, even in the agency space, it changes a lot in that startup type environment. So you'll find yourself just kind of wearing different hats at different times.
Yeah. And one of the ways, Kelsey, that we figured that out is like this high level affiliate launch was a good example of this. So at the beginning of the year, we knew we needed to shift our business model from doing these affiliate product launches. And so we had our eye on high level. We're like, we think this aligns well with what we're doing and we can bring a lot of value there. And so, but we need traffic. And so Nick and I both started creating YouTube content. We started both trying to get traffic, and Nick's traffic just took off. Mine went nowhere. So we were like, okay, well, I guess you're the traffic guy and I will be the customer success person. And because a big part of our strategy with what we're doing and all this is retention, right? And so now my focus is training and like doing we have we do a thing called Walkthrough Wednesday. I run that. We do a weekly live coaching call. I run that. We've got a tech call on Tuesdays. I have somebody from the team run that. So my focus is like, well, what are the people in our community struggling with? And then how can we bring them better training and value to keep those people sticking from those trials and to keep them getting success, right?
That makes a lot of sense because I feel like one of the biggest perks of the affiliate program is obviously the fact that there's 40% recurring revenue. But because it's 40% recurring revenue, you want to do everything you can to keep the customers around for a long time. High level, obviously, I'm very confident in the way that we keep people on board, but it can always be improved. And you guys have done a stellar a stellar job of retention with making sure that you keep all the folks that you're bringing on board. Um, as you started building this, how did you figure out what was needed versus like things that just seem like shiny objects to your customers?
Trial and error.
Well, it also, I think it goes back to like, we still have the agency. We still have a lot of clients, small businesses that we work with on a daily basis. Like that's a separate company. Mina Marketing is an agency. It's totally separate from Offline Sharks, which is our education company, or our software tool, Smart Directory AI. And for us, it's really just talking about what's actually working in the business. And it always has been about that. And, sometimes it's like, it is not, there's nothing shiny object about it, because really the same things 5 years ago kind of worked, like as they do now. There are just new ways to maybe like make things easier, or find people that might be a good fit for those different products or services and things like that. But yeah, for us, it's really been, I mean, to Tom's point, we've trial and error. When something doesn't work, then try something new. But we just regularly talk about what's actually working in our active business right now, and people get results from that, which is why it just helps to convert people, as and this is affiliate talk, so like trials to signups and keep people along the way. If you can actually get them to get some sort of win after they sign up for your trial, then there's a high probability they're going to stay next month. And if you keep on helping them win, then they're going to stay month over month over month. And I don't know, I heard early on, I don't know if this is still accurate. You may not know, but our affiliate manager said we had like some of the highest trial to conversion numbers. And I was trying to look the other day. I was trying to access the advanced stat dashboard, but I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
We
But
could
We
we could
convert
figure it
really
out.
well on the 30-day trial. Like we offer a 30-day trial, which typically, from what I've heard, is not the best converting way, but we convert at, I think, almost like 50% on that 30-day trial, which is, I think, a testament to those things that Nick was saying. Because when I said trial and error, I thought, Kelsey, you were talking about us as affiliate marketers. Like, how do you learn what to, like, oh, trial and error, not necessarily like what we're teaching our community. I mean, we did, one of the advantages that we had is because we did product launches and we were familiar with that, like we really did understand coming in kind of the infrastructure that needed to be around, right? Like, okay, like we knew from day one, like if we're going to promote high level, then we also need to focus on retention. Like most affiliates just promote the trials and then all of a sudden they realize everybody's leaving and they're like, oh crap, now I need to do something about retention. It's like we came in knowing like we need to focus on both those things and building everything out around that. And to Nick's point, our ultimate goal is always for the users to have success, right? And we've been very adamant about only sharing the things we're doing in the agency, which is one of the reasons it took us so long to jump on the high level train, right? Like we were using high level, Nick was using it in the agency, growing all that stuff out, but like we didn't have it fully integrated, and we were trying to figure out, well, how are we, like what is its role in the agency? What are all the important pieces? And then it just got to the point at the beginning of this last year where it was like we could no longer talk about what we were doing in our own business without talking about high level, because it was so integrated into everything we were doing. And so then we were like, well, now we have to shift this, because like we just can't talk about what we're doing without talking about that. And so, we just basically started telling everybody, look, we assume you have high level, and if you don't, you better get it.
Totally, totally. Nick, were you going to add something to that?
I was just thinking, like, trying to remember when the first time you and I had spoke, how long ago that was. I think that was also like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was trying to imagine what it would be like if we started promoting high level back then. Because, and this is for people that are watching that are thinking about becoming affiliates, we, in the last 6 months, so the beginning of the year, we started with the affiliate program, like actually started with the affiliate program. And I actually thought that we were late. You know, when I was in Dallas, I went to the summit for the first time, had a great time. It was a great event. And I was like, oh man, there's so many affiliates already on the leaderboard. They're making hundreds of $1,000s a year. I'm like, nobody, people have already joined HighLevel. They've already purchased it. And it actually kind of made me think twice about it. But I can tell you right now, it is wide open. Like the opportunity to promote HighLevel, put this amazing tool in the hands of people that actually need it and can get value from it is wide open. Um, and so yeah, I was just kind of thinking like, where we would be at right now with this program if we'd been promoting it for 5 years, because what we've done in 6 months time has been pretty massive. But yeah, like Tom said, again, it was us trying to implement before we could, and get results before we could really promote and talk about it, which is what we've done.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you guys still have your agency. A lot of people think that it's SaaS/agency or it's affiliate, but you've been doing a really good job of doing both, as can be seen by, the awards that are behind you right there, Nick. You guys have obviously been doing a really cool job with that. And you don't just do a good balance between agency and affiliate, but you also do a good job between having and focusing on some of the core features and functionality like emails, which I know you guys do a lot on, and still focusing on new stuff like AI. You're going pretty big on AI, but you're also pretty big about the fundamentals. How are you balancing the two and helping people that you refer to HighLevel focus on both at the same time?
So I can answer this. So from the affiliate traffic side, we use the sweets, we use the desserts, we use the AI to rope people in, to lure them in, to bring them in, right? Look at all these amazing AI things you can do. And then on our walkthrough Wednesdays, on our weekly coaching call, we make them eat their vegetables. We take them back and we're like, listen, the chocolate's great, but you've like been binging on it. You're going to get sick. Like we got to get some broccoli in here. We got to get some green beans, So we talk about those things on the weekly call because I mean, the reality is a person will have more success with the AI employee if they understand the fundamentals of email workflows, pipelines, like all of those things that nobody wants to talk about. They are critical to making the AI employee and all the amazing things it does function correctly. And so the reason I think a lot of people get overwhelmed is because they're so enamored with the AI thing, they don't take time to learn the fundamentals. Now they're trying to learn AI and they're trying to learn the fundamentals, and it just gets overwhelming. So we try to just piece that stuff out. And then we should just show them in the thing, like in the weekly trainings, we just show them, like, look, this is how this applies to this. This is how it applies to this other thing. And even though this isn't sexy, you need to know this, and this is why. And this is why it'll make your life easier.
So it's kind of like the carrot and stick story where like you're like, hey, I'll help you out with AI, but then like on the back end, like, hey, here's how to actually make it fully functionally work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like we have predominantly been growing our affiliate HighLevel traffic through organic YouTube. Like we run ads too, we have a community, but a lot of like that new user sign up and growth has come from YouTube traffic. And so you have to kind of follow where the traffic, where the attention, where the audience is. Right now everything is like either AI or it's crypto. So if you come in and you start talking about just building websites, there's very little traffic for that. So if you're thinking about trying to get people's attention, doing that research, trying to find out what people are searching for, and it's actually pretty easy, just open up any of your social media accounts and see what people are talking about. Like that's like the early indicators that you can kind of, pull that thread on and do some research on. But tying those hot topics, those trending topics into the things that work allows you to get that bigger audience. And then what I like about YouTube traffic and long form content is, each video you create, you have the opportunity to kind of go through some sort of presentation. And for people that suck at creating presentations, I totally did too. And I actually don't have a background in presenting or sales or any of that stuff. Like I used to be a mechanic. So everything that I have learned, I've had to learn through like lots and lots and lots and lots of repetition. But what I like about the long form content is you have the opportunity to, and this is what will make it easy for people that suck at presenting, is just creating slides for your videos. Create slides, go over your slides on the screen. Those are your talking points. It's similar to having freaking flashcards in your hand while you're talking to an audience of people. It's pretty hard, to not be able to read off of those talking points if you get stuck. But each video asset presentation gives you the opportunity to come in with the topic relating to AI. And then now you have the opportunity to convince and educate and train people on how this ties into growing your agency or getting a customer or making money. And so you have that opportunity because you have that attention right there from that person to start with the dessert, like Tom said, and convince them why it's important to eat their vegetables if they want to be healthy and grow and et cetera, et cetera.
Are you guys mostly focusing on people who are already interested and excited about AI? Or I know that some people are also still like hesitant and scared about AI, similar to how people used to be hesitant and scared about SaaS companies. Are you also like helping people tackle that? Or at the bare minimum, you're probably helping affiliates tackle that with the small businesses that they work with, right? So how are you coaching people through that?
I mean, it's whatever the algorithm is pushing content that you're titling and giving meta information like in the description and stuff about AI, right? So if you're creating a video that's like how to use AI to get more clients for your agency, the algorithm is going to go out there and find those people whether they have shown a little interest or maybe they're on the fringe or whatever it is. So we kind of just let the algorithm do its job and showing it to who they're going to show it to. But I think for all of our content that we've always created, whether it be a webinar, video, presentations, trainings, we try to always give a little bit to everybody. Like we always start out with like the beginning, the opportunity, how this is done, and try to make sure that we don't leave anything left out, whether it's, here's how you get your client, here's how you do some of the fulfillment, here's how you open up the software tool and make sure you can do this. So when somebody lands on one of those videos, each one of those videos is like an end-to-end piece where they're like, I have a really, a concept of like seeing this thing through from the beginning to end, whether they're very new or they already have an existing business and, maybe they're looking to add an additional way to get some subscription or recurring revenue into their business. So you kind of have to start to talk a little bit in that and like set your videos up to where you open up those loops in the beginning. You say that you're going to talk about those things so people stick around. Like if you're new, you're in the right place. If you're experienced, stick around because I'm going to tell you this, this, and this. I'm going to show you how to add an extra, $1,000 a month to your business. So you got to know who you're talking to, but keeping it broad helps.
And I think too, another thing that we do is like, when someone clicks on a link in that video, well, especially in the beginning, we have a customer journey. Like we already have a path to success that we had pre-mapped out. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to do this, see if this works. But like, if you look at my screen here, this is like our customer success journey, and it starts with HighLevel, right? And so on trainings, we go over this. We post this in our groups. Like, and then the first thing that people come to from a video is this AI agency fast track, which really like brings everybody on the same page. Like, here's the opportunity in AI. Here's what's going on. Here's how HighLevel helps you achieve what you're with AI. So once you have everybody on the pointed in the same direction, then it's much easier to walk them through the things that you may offer or the things that you want them to do. Right. So, step number one is kind of getting everybody aligned in that path.
Got it. Interesting. So you essentially get this blueprint and you use this for every single video that you're using to bring new people in?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that what Tom shared is behind the scenes for the most part. Like we know what that journey is, that customer journey. For like the video, we don't try to overwhelm somebody. If you just open that up and you showed that to somebody that's new, they'd be like, where do I even start with? I mean, I know you say to start there, but this is a lot of shit. Like, what do I do with this? So we try to just start small and gradually, walk them up through that process. But yeah, we know where we're going, and where people might fall depending on how experienced they are, right? You might find some people that have a few clients already. Well, in that case, we might jump them up to step 3 or, depending on where they're at.
Totally. Um, you guys have a very cool, there's something very cool going on where anytime you launch a big video, it always pops off. It does well. It feels like almost you guys have a Midas touch there. But I'm assuming there's a lot of work that goes into it, specifically to also bring in the right crowd to fit into that entire roadmap that you have planned on the back end. Um, how how did you come across this formula for your business, for your affiliate business that works so well?
Yeah, I mean that has, I mean, full disclosure, like we've been doing education internet marketing for a long time. So, if you're just all of a sudden coming across some of our content, it might look like, wow, they just have this thing figured out, but it's taken a lot of time. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, you look at some of my early YouTube videos, holy crap, it's horrible, it's rough, it's terrible. But like I said, Tom and I, we really are practitioners of being in the agency space. And so having that experience and having that relevance to the stuff that people are interested in, they're talking about, it really, really helps out. And then, just kind of just consistency, being consistent. Like people take too long to actually make their first video or post on social media for the first time, or what we see in the agencies, people that we teach, right? They take too long to go out there and go get their first client. They're trying to build their logo to be perfect. They're trying to make their website look perfect when, I didn't even have a website before I landed my first 3 clients. And it was because of I was just trying to take action. So treating content the same way or treating the affiliate program the same way is what I would recommend. And then, if you can become a practitioner yourself, that's going to be your fastest way of doing this. So, if you can, like, if you're a brand new HighLevel person and you're looking to get into the affiliate program, what I recommend you do is, like, obviously open up HighLevel for yourself, use it for yourself, play around with it, learn how to use it, and then go out there. And if you have no credibility, no portfolio, no clients to speak to, well, then the first thing you're going to need to do is go out and get some so that other people will listen to you. You have to have some experience, social proof. Like, Tom and I have a very successful agency, so people will listen to us because we can talk about that. But if you have nothing, I recommend going out there and getting some customers so you can speak to what you have done for them. And a lot of times, if you're brand new in the beginning, you might want to just do that for free so that you can have that credibility and social proof to be like, this is what I did for these 3 to 5 to 10 people. This is what I can do for you to get to your next person, who could potentially be your paying customer. And, once you have some experience, you have plenty to talk about. The thing that we realized early on is, having that imposter syndrome. I remember thinking, like, nobody's going to want to hear anything that I have to say about this. Everybody already knows this stuff. This is all newbie stuff that I know. I'm new to this. I'm a mechanic. Tom was a restaurant manager. But the reality is there are so many people out there that know less than every single one of us that spend a couple hours a day watching YouTube videos on these topics, and so you just kind of need to know more than the next guy to be able to go out there and share your content and teach people some things. So if you go out there and focus on taking action and becoming a practitioner and using the tool, you'll have plenty to talk about. And, don't focus on becoming like the best affiliate marketer who knows more than everybody. Just focus on bringing value to people who could actually use this tool. And that's the beautiful thing about HighLevel is the tool really is so freaking valuable. You have an unlimited opportunity here of unlimited things that you can talk to or talk about.
Totally, totally. I think, though, what's really interesting, and I wish we could turn back in time and I could have this recording and show you guys from 5 years ago. This same thing is it did still take you guys time to get up and running, right? But what I think is really cool is that you did focus on the agency and that's really fed into your affiliate journey here. Um, when you guys decided like, hey, it's a no-brainer to start doing affiliate stuff, was that also a no-brainer to go into it together? Or just because you're on the agency side together, I know some people who do like agency sides together and then affiliate stuff solo. So was it a no-brainer to go into it together? And then if you're open to it, what are like because I've heard of a lot of people who are like, I'm super techie, but I'm not good at the marketing side, or I'm good at the marketing side, but I'm not super techie. What were the non-negotiables that you guys both had respectively when thinking about working with somebody in this capacity?
Oh, we're getting into relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, well, two things. So one thing, I just want to circle back to what Nick said before about the video things. One thing you don't want to do there is act like you're making $1 million if you're not making $1 million. So start where you're at. Like if you're only generating one client or $100, just start showing people how you're doing that. There's a huge audience of people that want to hear from somebody that's exactly where they're at or just one step ahead. So don't try to be something you're not. Share where you're at. When we started, our agencies weren't even doing 100,000 a year. And so all of our stuff was about how we're getting to 100,000. And then when we got to 100,000, it was all about how we're growing even more. And then when we got to 500,000, we got to 500,000. And now it's how we got to 1.6 million. So the people in our community have seen that entire journey, which brings a huge level of authenticity, right? On the relationship side, so at the agency, I'm actually in the marketing department, but at Offline Sharks, Nick and I are partners. And so, that kind of part is sort of already mapped out, right? Like we're in Offline Sharks together, so we have to just kind of figure out what each person is doing. But I will say like, we've been in a partnership for 10 years and it has not always been easy. We've had to have some very uncomfortable conversations that neither one of us probably wanted to have or even are like now like, oh wow, what a great talk that was, right? Like ooh, that really like, but like sometimes they're necessary. And I think in a long-term partnership you have to be able to, I mean, like you got to be able to kind of look at stuff and not hold on to it. I see a lot of people that let things go. You know, there's some uncomfortable conversations we've had and things we've said to each other, things that I wish I didn't say to Nick. And I'm sure there's probably things he's like, I wish I didn't say that to Tom. You have to just not hold on to that. And like, listen, like, that was crappy. I'm sorry. Like, and then really move on about it. It doesn't work if you're 2 years down and you're still bringing it up, right? Like, so it's a lot like I mean, it's a real relationship. It takes work and effort, and you have to be committed to be in it. And we've even had that conversation. Are we committed in this relationship? Do we both still want to be here? Because if we don't want to be here, like one of us should probably, right? Like, and there doesn't have to be like, it's just really hard to keep your emotions in check around that stuff, especially when there's income and revenue and business and all the things, right? So, I feel very fortunate that we've been able to do that. And for the times that we get irritated with each other or whatever, we've been able to kind of get past that and continue to move forward and make things work. But it is hard, right? I mean, I'm sure it's very difficult from Nick's side to be like, look, I've got this YouTube channel. It's blowing up. I just got 100,000 subscribers. Like now I've got all these people over here that are benefiting off of that, but like he's put in the hard work for that, right? But on the backside, there's like it in at the end of the day, it all works together. So it is a challenge to keep your egos out of it and be like, I don't know, but I think we've been fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah. I also think that partnerships can be a huge advantage. The mistake that people make a lot of the time is they get into it for the wrong reasons. They get into a partnership because their best buddy is at their house and they're like, "Hey, we can do this thing. I like hanging out with you. We should, start a business together." But that is like the absolute worst reason that you should actually get into business with somebody. You should be considering a partner, to Kelsey's point of, what are the skills or non-negotiables that you need in order to make something work. If you are good at sales and marketing, but you suck at operations and attention to detail, well, that's the person that you should be partnering with. If you're not good at generating traffic, well, then you need to find somebody that's good at generating traffic. You want to find somebody that has a skill set that is willing, or that is able to complement yours, or, what you don't have. And for a lot of people, again, in like this, there's this variable that I have continued to come across over the years, which is like being in a startup environment, right? A startup environment, it's almost, all bets are off in a lot of ways, because you can find two people that maybe don't have complementary skill sets, but because they're trying to make anything they possibly can work, that person who might suck at traffic is all of a sudden willing to go out there and figure out how to make an organic strategy work, or just invest all their time into figuring out how to make Facebook ads work, or whatever it is. So they may not have that skill right now, but if they have that ambition or that burning desire, that could be something as well that you might consider somebody as a potential partnership.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then I would say too that once you're in that partnership, you both have to work to get better. I mean, like Nick's put in a lot of work to get better at sales and marketing. And I've worked really hard to get better at systems and processes. Like I'm not a systems and processes kind of guy. Nothing about that excites me, right? But like we do it and we implement those things because
Yeah. I think that what's interesting about business relationships is that it should be straightforward, but like it's a really hard thing to understand. You have to be willing to do the business, And it's so hard because there's so much ego that you have to remove from it. You have to really be trusting that the other person's giving their 100%, even though that looks different every single day. I saw a TikTok recently of a marathon runner who was like, I ran a marathon today, and tomorrow I won't, but both days I will be giving my 100%. It's just you need different things each day, and I really like that. Um, so it makes a lot of sense. Would you, if you were a new affiliate starting from scratch, though, would you find a partner before you got started, or to your point, Nick, would you just keep doing things until you felt a pain and then found a partner to complement that?
I wouldn't be closed off to it. I would always be open to it. I think that's important. It's also just like recruiting, right? If you say you don't ever find a partner, but you are a business owner and you're growing this thing, no matter what, you're probably going to need some help at some point, So you kind of like always want to keep the doors open of good talent and people to recruit. Like, for example, our sales rep at the agency was somebody who they didn't work for us, but they worked for a competing agency, and they hit up all of our clients like strategically. And over time, we kept hearing feedback from our clients. Oh, this company reached out to us and they said they could do this for us. And we're like, huh, that's pretty normal, right? In the agency space, your small business clients are going to get hit up by everybody, right? They're going to get all kinds of cold email. They're going to get all kinds of AI bots and messages and things like that. So you got to get used to people saying like, oh, they potentially got hit up to do some work by somebody else. So in this situation, this company and this individual person was going after, it seemed like they're going after our clients in like a calculated way. But one day I went to go rent a mountain bike from one of our clients to go mountain biking. And he was like, hey, this girl from this agency, she showed up here the other day. Like she came to my office, or she came to the shop, and she was like offering to do our marketing. I told her that I worked with you. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. He's like, here's her card. And I was like, huh. So I gave her a call. And I gave her a call just to like, I don't know why I gave her a call. It was more just to kind of, I don't know. I don't know why I gave her a call. Like there you go. That's a great example, right? Like just to leave the door open to find out more. I don't really see somebody as like a competitor in like an ill way. Like, oh, I'm not going to ever talk to you. I was more just curious about like what they were doing from a business standpoint. How was it going? Like, are they selling something I'm not doing? And I thought of it as an opportunity of maybe being able to get some information, you know? And so I met with this person, and it was a great conversation. And like a year later, they hit me up and they're like, hey, our company just got bought. I'm looking for a new job, you know? And so I wasn't like closed off to, you know, talking to this person. I left the door open. And I think it's the same way with partnerships and hiring people on your team. You know, you should always be open to it. And it really comes down to like, if that person has the skills, is a good culture fit with you and the rest of your team, or if it's just you. And if so, then yeah, I mean, totally do it, because at the end of the day, you know, people, software, systems, and processes, as you grow, those are the things that are going to give you more leverage, allow you to create more cash flow. And at the end of the day, that is going to give you more time to do other things. And that will allow you to keep growing or retire.
Totally. Um, some people go into the affiliate space because they want more passive income. Is that why you guys chose to go into the affiliate space, or did it kind of just make sense? And what does, like, if not for passive income, what will success on the affiliate side look like for you? I guess is the core of my question.
So my joke, Kelsey, is always, I don't do this because it's easy. I do it because I thought it was going to be easy. And like that is like that has been my experience. Like I mean, my experience has been there's an awful lot of work behind passive income, like an awful lot of work, right? And for us, because we used affiliates to sell our products that we launched and stuff, like we were just we were just familiar with the space, you know. So we recognize it as like, okay, well, if we're gonna, you know, mainly like we felt very fortunate to find a company like HighLevel that we wanted to be an affiliate of, right? Like because you guys had stuff going and we were using an agency and all the support and the team. And like I remember when I met you in Dallas, and like you guys were so, and even Sean and all those guys, like I remember all of them like, oh, I know who you are. Like we were nobodies. Like we weren't even affiliates for HighLevel. And they were like, oh, we've heard of you, the Offline Sharks. Like we'd love for you to come and work with us. And like that was like that kind of like was the thing that sort of opened our eyes, like, oh, maybe this is a solid enough partner in this journey, right? Because we're partners, right? Even though we're the affiliate and you're the bit, like we're partners in this thing. And so just like we were talking about the partnerships in your own business, you want to have great, like if you're going to make a business partnership, you need to do those same things. And so you need to look for somebody that's quality, all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, we'd never found anybody like that before, right? Like we just used affiliates to sell our own stuff basically. So, I mean, I think that speaks to HighLevel as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, we have been, you know, we have been doing affiliate marketing for a long time, and we have been through quite a bit of like programs for different software tools and things like that. But I will say that HighLevel has been probably, not even probably, HighLevel has been the best program that we have been a part of in terms of what they're willing to do to help the people you bring in. Like that is the biggest thing, because most of the other programs and things you sell and tools out there, when you sell something, a lot of the time they don't really support their members in a way like HighLevel really does. And so, you know, I tell people all the time, and Mike Cooch told me this, Like, I didn't like make this up. He told me, he was like, the tool, just get it in front of the right people. It'll sell itself. And then the community and the support and everything will help keep them. And that has been a fact. It has been very true, and yeah. And then with respects to like the passive income talk and all discussion, all that, I don't know, passive income. It's funny because like people talk about it a lot, and I feel like it's like a really strong marketing buzzword. Like passive income is something that the IRS actually classifies passive income instead of your W-2 income or whatever. You actually get it from rental or stuff that you passively collect on. But it's not really passive because a lot of times, because like for example, the affiliate revenue, like yes, we're making a lot of money monthly coming in from HighLevel, but was it really passive to learn how to create content, sales and marketing, create the agency, do all these things? Like it took a lot of activity to make all that stuff happen. And there's a lot of activity behind the scenes from HighLevel to continue to keep it going. So it's not that passive income isn't this thing that you shouldn't go after or anything like that. I think it just should have another name, and the opportunity at the end of the day, the opportunity to make money online, becoming a part of an affiliate program like HighLevel, where you get 40% ongoing lifetime commissions and things like that. The opportunity to generate a significant amount of cash flow compared to what I was doing as a mechanic is massive. And there are so many ways that you can create leverage and opportunities with people helping you, hiring people, building systems, building teams, building a YouTube channel where you can grow a big audience. Like that's leverage. Being able to, instead of doing one-to-one sales to somebody and maybe selling this one thing one time, making one video that could go out to hundreds of thousands of people and get a bunch of signups all at once. Like that's what really leverage is all about in this game. And setting yourself up to create as much leverage as you possibly can is super lucrative. And like I said at the beginning of this call, like I thought we were late to HighLevel and promoting the affiliate program. And as somebody who is like actively in the trenches right now, it's still wide open. I don't even think it really matters that you guys are doing as well as you are. I think that you guys are continuing to grow into this bigger market, especially with the talk or the topic of AI, especially with the AI sales and marketing, like the amount of people who are using it. I think it's just growing at an astronomical rate. And I think right now you're still early. I really do.
Nice. Um, is there, as we look to wrap this up, is there anything else that you think a potential new affiliate should consider when diving into affiliate marketing?
Yeah, one of the things that I would say is really find a good company to be an affiliate of, because you know we like Nick said, we have promoted some other things in the past, and a lot of those companies were like, okay, thanks for the customers, see you guys later. Like, and it's very frustrating when you're trying to build a long-term business that happens. One of the things that really stood up at a HighLevel and what you guys did is your commitment to the affiliates, and your like you want the affiliates to do. Most businesses treat affiliates kind of like the redheaded stepchild. Like they want you to do good, but they don't want anybody to see you. Like they want to just keep you in the background. And HighLevel is the opposite. They're like, we embrace the affiliates. Like, we want, if you're doing good, we're doing good. And like and that is hard to find. So, I think if you're going to put all that effort that Nick was talking about in developing a passive income stream, you want somebody that's going to treat you right, and you want somebody that's going to be around for a while. And so I would definitely, you know, stick pick something like that to start with. You'd be way better off.
Yeah, and I would say to try not to get caught up in looking at like the end result, or looking at, you know, like for us, for example, right? We've been doing this for HighLevel for 6 months. And actually, we did start out promoting HighLevel a few years back, but we promoted it in the SaaS format. Like that's how we got those awards, right? We created strategies and sold those strategies to people, white label, and brought them in as SaaS members. But what I would recommend is like try not to get caught up in seeing what other people are doing and the results that they are getting, because that will really kind of like stop you from getting started. Just like I thought we were too late, you just need to take action, small incremental steps. Like what can you do today if you're brand new to potentially learn some skills that would be valuable to somebody else? What are the skills that you need to learn in order to actually become a good affiliate? Is it creating content? Is it building a community? Is it email marketing? Is it, and then try to find the things that you're interested in so that you can really let your passions come through, because it's not always fun, and if you're really interested in AI and it doesn't feel like work when you're researching AI, then, you should be using AI to help you do everything that you possibly can. But yeah, don't let the results and the things that you see online from everybody else stop you from getting started. Like right now, you can do little things every single day, and eventually you will stack up a pretty massive nest egg, just like we have, right? Like 6 months ago, if you would have asked me, would we be making, I don't know, I think we're at like 40,000 a month on commissions from HighLevel or something like that. Would I have thought we would have gotten there in 6 months? No. It was daily incremental progress, and it still is, and it slowly just starts adding up, and it seems to just keep going up, whereas and that has to do with retention, right? Because you're adding more people in, but they're not leaving, which is extremely important. I don't think we can really stress that enough. I know we both have mentioned it multiple times, but we've been part of things that have churn and retention problems. We've created things that have churn and retention problems as well. So we know what that's like. And it seems like, I don't know if it's the way that we're bringing people in, the content that the way that we're positioning the value or what, but we have a great relationship going between HighLevel and people coming in and staying and finding that. And, you don't want to be spending all your time and effort into something that isn't going to have that kind of long-term runway that you really want. But yeah, like take little action steps every single day, and eventually they will add up. And, you'll be shocked at like where you are a month from now.
Super inspirational. And I agree. I think that there's a quote, I'm probably gonna butcher it, but people what is it? People overestimate what you can do in 5 years, but they underestimate what you can do in one. And so I mean, you guys have done insanely awesome things in the past 6 months. Really, thank you for sharing some of them, but also sharing tips that you'd have for anybody that's 6 months behind you. Anybody watching this could really revamp everything that they're doing. So I appreciate the candor that you brought to today's call.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for
The
having
thing
us.
I would say the thing you're trying to say there, Chelsea, is don't try to get rich by Friday. Like, it takes time. It takes time. Give up on the fantasy that you can get rich by Friday, and just like Nick said, each day just make a little progress for it. So yeah, the HighLevel affiliate program is really awesome. If you guys are on the fence, you should jump in and do it. Like Nick said, it's pretty wide open.
Perfect. Cool. Well, thanks so much, you guys, for your time. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Yeah, thanks, Kelsey.